It is the RIOT podcast, and well, our bellies are full of Reeses.
So if you're
today.
like, wow, they sound really relaxed and docile, it's
Actually,
from all the chocolate, or not the chocolate, but all the peanut butter.
Yeah, because it was the peanut butter lovers. I'm still finding like little pockets of peanut butter, and that's not a bad thing.
It's not bad. So when you're done with the podcast, please join us at RadioU RIOT on our Facebook page. You can watch our food fight today, and you can check out our other interviews. You can always listen to the podcast there or our RadioU RIOT YouTube channel, but you want to today.
Yes, and I was going to say it's also National Donut Day, but we're not full of donuts. We didn't get any.
No, there's still time left.
You wonder, we haven't really left the studio. So what if we just happen to walk out to the break room and all of a sudden there was some surprise donuts?
It'd be like Christmas morning.
Yeah, it really would.
Well, we do talk about Donut Day, and there are deals to be had.
If you can get in on them and listen to this podcast in time. We've got a way for you to win $100,000, and anybody can do it. All you need to do is go fishing.
You have to have a rod and a reel and a will to get on out there.
Yeah, and just a lot of time on your hands and just a little bit of luck.
A little bit of luck and a little bit of love.
Yes. We also have the InNOut pool floaty. And I think Nikki is also appalled at how I missed on going to InNOut the one time I went out west.
But you know what?
I ate instead.
We'll still do the show together.
Okay.
It's not that bad.
We had actually some big kerfuffles today.
What do you mean?
Well,
the Raya stuff.
We fighting over how to pronounce Reeses and Reeses, Raya, and then the restaurant in Arizona, and then there was another one too that we were. Because you've never seen the Mickey Mouse Potato Land episode.
Yeah,
that really is sad to me.
Keep saying it.
Yeah.
Keep saying it. It sounds bad.
I'm not ashamed at all. Come on.
Hey,
compared to all the things you watch, you think that's so bad?
I've watched so much crap.
Yeah.
But I haven't watched the Potato Land stuff from Mickey. I didn't think I was supposed to. You're going to put that below
the other crap you've watched.
Yeah, I will.
Well, that's just because you haven't watched it and you don't know.
Well, all right, fine. After the podcast, guys, watch our food fight and then head on over and watch the Potato Land.
You don't even need a Disney subscription. It's on YouTube.
It's on YouTube.
Legally.
Jeez. Okay, that's the plan today. Yep. Thank you guys for listening.
Have a good weekend.
We appreciate you always listening, and do have a good weekend.
It is the
Bye.
RIOT. Don't say we didn't warn you. This is the worst of the RIOT.
Happy National Donut Day.
I didn't catch, but Donut Day is typically celebrated the first Friday in June.
Okay.
So
one of the donut days.
Yeah, there's some other one, isn't there?
This is National Donut Day, and then there's International Donut Day, World Donut Day, American Donut Day, and then the donut is spelled differently because this one is DONUT and that one's DOUGHNUT.
I feel like donut places really tried to stretch how many days they can get out of the year. But I mean, we win, we get something.
Yeah. If there's one thing that needs to be celebrated several days a year,
that and pizza.
It's donuts for sure.
But the hard thing with donuts is it used to be, if you go back a couple of years, I feel like people were a bit more generous with just a free donut.
Yeah.
Then it became, it's an app rewards thing.
Yes.
And then it became, you have to still.
Everything, though. There used to be so many different things you could just get for free or for 5 cents on Nickel Hamburger Day.
But now you have to use the app, be a rewards member, and get something else to get a free donut today.
Unless you go to Krispy Kreme. Then they'll just throw the donuts at you until you leave.
It must be day olds. I don't know why. But they always have like a free thing going on, even outside of the vaccination thing.
Right.
Like they're just, if you go up, they usually will just be giving you a free donut.
Today for Krispy Kreme, obviously you can still get the vaccination donut that you can get every day. Then you can also get a free one because it is National Donut Day. So you're up to 2.
Oh, you can get a second free.
Yes.
Oh.
And they also are running a deal where you can buy a dozen donuts and then you get an original glazed dozen for $1.
Oh, so you get another dozen with it?
So you buy 1 dozen of donuts and all of a sudden you've got 2 dozen plus 3.
So
2 dozen plus 2.
Okay. Listen, just go through the drive-thru. I'm sure they'll explain it.
Yeah, right.
Tim Hortons is doing this from yesterday through the 15th.
Yeah, this is the one that seems really...
There's the rewards. If you're a Tim's Reward member, you get one classic or specialty donut for 50 cents with any eligible purchase over 50 cents.
Wow, Tim Hortons. Hold up there. Don't give away too much.
That's giving away the whole donut right there.
How can you guys stay in business with a deal like that?
I feel like there must be a legality for them. Like they must charge something for the donuts.
Yeah.
So, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's international border things.
Well,
but
let's be honest. We're not going to Tim Hortons for the donuts anyway.
Not too often, but in an emergency.
If anything, the Timbits, they get the job done much better than the donuts do, and I'm really just there for the coffee.
So let's see, Duck Donuts, today you can get a free cinnamon sugar, powdered sugar, or bear donut.
Yeah, that's more like what we're looking for. What's a bear? Oh, bear, not like bear, like the animal. That would be good.
Maybe that'd be better.
Yeah, maybe. What else do we have? What? I don't even know what the two of these are. What have you heard of Lamar's Donuts?
I've not. Lamar's Donuts is one. You can get a free. You don't even know Lamar's, and you're like, but then you also get a free Ray's original glazed donut from them. It must be an owner thing.
Lamar and Ray.
Yeah, that's nice. Community heroes get 2 free donuts on National Donut Day.
Oh, they're based out of headquartered in Colorado.
Nice.
So I guess if we ever go to Colorado,
we'll look there. And then
advantage.
Shipley's Donuts today, you can get a free glazed donut with any purchase at participating locations.
That feels like a legal thing because it's D-O-N-U-T-S. Yes, with the hyphen in between.
And then last is Dunkin'. Today you can get a free classic donut of your choice with a purchase of any beverage while they have them.
And they have a new...
What do they have?
They have a berry powdered donut and a berry powdered, I guess they call them munchkins there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Does that sound good to you?
I never go to Dunkin'.
Oh, okay.
It's not
I don't really either.
They don't sound
There isn't one around.
Well,
there's not one on the way for me.
There's one over there, like one town over. And I thought for sure there was one over there.
You know what? Yeah.
But I don't know if it's still there.
It's still there. I actually did go recently.
So all you said was a lie?
It was horrible. I actually got a bagel and I went through the drive-thru.
Yeah.
They gave me the bagel. They put butter on. They put mounds and mounds of butter.
Not hearing anything wrong.
All of the butter instantly melted off of the bagel and was all in the packaging, and there was not a drop of butter on the bagel.
Oh,
it was
really?
the driest bagel I've ever had.
Did you go back through, or?
No, I was too far away by that point.
Far.
I just threw it out the window.
So you've written them off?
Well, I wouldn't get a bagel there.
It feels like you have.
They're not called Dunkin' Bagels. So
for a reason.
Should have known.
The worst of the worst. Are you ready? The Riot Podcast. RadioU.
Paramount Plus. If you didn't have it already, this is your chance to get in because starting Monday, they've got a new plan they're announcing that cuts the price in half. Does that cut it enough?
I don't think it does because you still have the commercials, right?
Yeah, you do.
This is the cheaper one.
The ad-supported version of Paramount Plus, you'll get, instead of being $10 a month or $9.99 probably, it'll be $4.99, $5 a month. But it takes out some of their news coverage that you can get live. It also takes out some certain sports coverage, but it's not exactly specified. And then, you're going to get, the major thing is you're going to get ads with it where you wouldn't get that if you went for the $10 plan.
I don't know why. Well, I do know why they do it, but it sucks your soul when you have any ad-supported things on streaming stuff because it's the same 2 ads like over and over again.
It totally is.
And you just can't stand it anymore.
That they are specifically served to you. Yes. So that really is a window into a part of your life that you don't want to look at.
I feel like they're brainwashing you or something. And it's like, well, it either works really well or you end up hating and despising the one
every
item.
Every time. I feel that when you keep seeing the same commercial over and over again, it does a lot more harm than good for the company. I feel
I only had that usually with Sling, and then I think YouTube TV would do that too. But because sometimes they would just put a slate up where it's like, hey, this will return in a moment.
Yeah.
I felt like if they didn't have an ad to go there, But then when they run the same one over and over again, is that all that's signed up? Or
yeah, you're right. Are they having trouble selling the ad time?
Yeah, the ad time. Like, why? And then, oh my gosh, when the ones where you'll get 2 or 3 ads in a row, and they're still the same one.
Yes, it'll be the same. We call them stop sets.
Yes, that's it.
And in a 2-minute frame, you will get 2 of the same 30-second commercial.
Like, why? Why are we doing this? But if people are interested.
So many things about the ads that drive these. When you get a 60-second ad, do you ever occasionally get those? And you're like, how are they allowed to make one this long?
How is this possible?
Yeah. Who can sit through this entire thing? You ever get on YouTube where you have the ads that you can skip them, but you like just think, oh, it's 15, 30 seconds. I'll just let it sit because I'm not whatever. And then it turns out that it's like a 20-minute video. Do you ever get that on YouTube?
I've not. I pay for no commercials there because I can't stand it.
You watch enough YouTube. I watch a lot of YouTube, but I don't do the ad, or I just can't bring myself to pay for it.
Well, it's hard though, because when you do watch more, and now they put them throughout the entire video. So you're like, well, here's the 6th time.
Yeah, right.
I just can't. But for Paramount Plus, which used to be,
we were talking about.
It used to be CBS All Access.
Yeah.
But for this one, some people don't mind, and if you don't mind, if it's worth saving $5 a month, I don't know if it is, but. This will be a commercial plan, and then they have the $10 commercial-free plan still. Do you
or have you ever had Paramount Plus?
I've never tried CBS All Access, and I've never tried Paramount Plus.
Really?
I've never tried. I have free tries of it because I think it came with like a TV once, and I never even tried it.
I've gotten onto Paramount Plus. I've used it, but only because for some reason my dad signed up for it.
I can feel that. It feels right.
I don't know that he signed up specifically to watch
the Star Trek stuff.
The Twilight Zone.
Really?
Yeah.
From the Key and Peele
the new
guy?
one. Yeah.
Well, that's been canceled, so.
It has?
Yeah, they canceled it.
Oh, don't tell my dad.
No, that's...
Well, he can cancel his Paramount Plus then.
Hudson, save that for Father's Day. Why don't you just tell him then? Be like, well, just to let you know.
Yeah, I hate to let you down here, Dad, but...
But are you going to the $5 commercial supported, or what are you doing?
Save some money.
Well, then, you can just use his then.
I went on there. I have... And I don't even remember if I found anything to watch. Oh, you know what it was? It was an old, I went on there because it just happened. I knew my dad had it, and he had given me the login in case I ever wanted it, which I didn't think I would. And then it was an old show that used to be on MTV, and it happened to be on there. And I was like, well, I can actually watch this for a little bit. It was Daria. Have you ever seen Daria?
Is that animated?
Yep.
Okay, I think I know what it is, but I've never seen it.
Yeah, me and my wife were like, remember Daria? So we started looking at that. That's on Paramount Plus, and we watched a few episodes and haven't been back since.
The definition of insanity is putting the riot on again and again and expecting a better result. It's the worst of the riot on RadioU.
I don't want to be in an area where they're like the plague. And it seems like in this area, it's Australia, right?
Yeah, it's Australia where we talked about it earlier this week that they now have a outbreak of mice that is so bad in certain areas. They're eating all of the food and running out of food, so the mice are eating each other. And it's causing snakes to be expand in the area.
Snakes come out. They want to eat the mice.
They're finding all the mice. So it's a real big deal.
And you're like, what's the big deal about just a few mice? It's not.
It's a ton of mice.
I've never seen volumes of like a creature, like this many of them.
Right.
But now there's more.
It's like it's like in Star Trek with the tribbles where they're expanding everywhere. The trouble with tribbles. And it's the trouble with the cannibal mice.
Well, again, it's not just mice. It's the one that they're eating themselves, and then the snakes come out, and the snakes aren't just snakes. They're all like poisonous snakes.
Right.
But now they have this extra addition to it.
Yeah, so there's a video posted online. Nikki, have you watched it yet?
I have it all ready to go.
Why don't you just take a look? I'll kind of give a little...
It looks like the guy's fishing, and he's
nice
pulling
big
it out.
Fish. I don't know what kind... Oh, it's a Murray cod.
Murray cod.
That's helpful that they posted that there. And he's like shaking it around in the water.
Oh, is that mice coming out?
And that's mice coming out of its mouth.
Why is the fish eating the mice? Do you think
it's doing
there's
it?
a lot of them in there. Oh, it's in their stomachs. Why did that happen? What's going on?
Well, they say that, I guess, the mice were trying to swim across the river or wherever this guy was fishing.
And the fish eat the mice?
The fish just, I never would picture fish eating mice, at least not like... maybe there was standard fish you would find in a river.
Maybe there was so many and you just couldn't help but eat a few mice.
Well, the fish are always just swimming around with their mouth open and they didn't so much as eat it as the mice just kind of fell in there.
Well, here's the problem. They're saying that they fear that things could be poisoned because this fish native to this area is something that a lot of people will fish there and kind of eat. So if you get a Murray cod, the problem is it might have these mice in it. It might have poison and stuff. And just like, the plague, the mice plague. And then you're going and you're eating the fish not knowing. I don't know. Do you empty their stomach out if you get a fish or?
If you're going to eat it, I would hope you would.
Oh, no.
Can you imagine you get the fish? I don't know. You skin it or whatever, but you just throw it on the grill. You cut it open and you didn't know it was stuffed.
The mice, is that a bonus?
Yeah, right.
Is that like, there's something else?
It's like a turducken, but it's
is.
Fish micing.
Oh, do they get cicadas? Can you imagine if it was cicadas in with mice and then in this fish?
Yeah, or maybe you get really lucky. You catch a big fish. There's a smaller fish inside, and then inside the smaller fish is the mice.
They say they've seen the mice get taken off the top of the water when they're swimming, and then having so much food around, the cod is just getting so healthy and fat.
Oh, wow.
And they say about 90% of the fish they're pulling out of the water have mice in them. Blah.
Yeah, really. Well,
that's why I need farm-fresh fish.
That's right.
Farm-raised and not near this.
It needs to be fully from this local area where we don't have a mice outbreak. Because you don't know. You get your Gortons. Where are they catching that? Where are they?
Dude,
are we sure it's not in Australia?
Technically, if you ever look up tilapia and a few other fish... You never want to know.
You just don't.
Not when it's farm raised. You're like, how does it grow so fast? What are they feeding it? You just don't want to know. But especially, well, you'd be lucky if it was. But especially in this area, it seems like you just want to really be careful because there's the plague of mice, which is bringing in the snakes.
Yep.
And now it's all being eaten by the fish, which if you go and fish, it could be poisoned.
Next week, we're going to find out about the bears that are eating the fish.
Then I'm coming. Then I'll be there because I need to see what's going on.
The bears are getting a disease from the mice and the fish.
Well, I can save them. Well, I'll be available if you need me to come.
Everything you love about the Riot, plus a handy-dandy fast-forward option. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Every once in a while, even when you're doing radio, you see so many stories, so many surveys come along. And every once in a while, there's still one that just shocks you. And that's what I've got right here. Nikki, can you believe this? According to this new survey, I think it's done by a company called One Poll. And they say that over half of all Americans don't think that dinosaurs are still roaming the earth.
They don't? Well, that leads the other side.
So nearly half of us still believe that dinosaurs are roaming the earth.
I'm surprised that's such a balanced number between right in the middle. I thought it'd be leaning more one way.
You would think more people would know that dinosaurs are still around.
Oh, is that it?
You would think that.
This is a poll out of just 2,000 adults, so they might have just hit an area.
They just picked a bad batch.
It could have been just an area where they just weren't sure. And sometimes I think it's our fault that movies are so convincing and shows are so convincing that you might not realize some of that is not
the movie
real.
All the Jurassic Park stuff doesn't really make as much sense if dinosaurs are still roaming around.
I don't know.
It kind of renders that whole movie kind of insane.
Sometimes, I guess the last, say Godzilla, the Godzilla and Kong one when you were watching that, and you're watching it going, well, you don't know what's in the ocean.
Yeah, right.
You could still have things like that. But for this, they're just saying that nearly half of Americans out of the 2,000 that they polled believe that dinosaurs still exist in some form or in a remote part of the world.
What I was going to say is I'll give them some of these half the benefit of the doubt of maybe they're the type that are like, well, how do we really differentiate what's a dinosaur? Maybe a Komodo dragon would qualify.
Or like a shark, like certain things there.
Some of those sharks that are down in the deep sea, they've been around, they lived the actual individual sharks live for hundreds and hundreds of years. So maybe who knows how long they've been around.
They say 54%, again out of the 2000, believe that dinosaurs only lived in Africa and North America, despite scientists, finding dinosaur bones all around the world.
Well, I'm wondering maybe that's the only 2 continents these people could name. Those are the only 2 continents.
I don't think we would do well if we were the ones going around getting the survey study information. Be like, I'm sorry, what do you think?
But we're so wise. Oh, yeah. You mean, I thought you meant we would fail these too.
No,
we'd be like, they put us on the spot and we'd be like, Africa.
North America.
That's where they were. Africa.
No, I think it'd be odd if we were the ones writing down people's responses.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it would be hard to keep a straight face.
Well, let's just file this under, they're saying, loads of misinformation.
Yeah, which we didn't have a part of earlier when
we missed it. National Dinosaur Day was on the 1st.
Oh, okay. How did we not celebrate?
Well, it is Donut Day today, so let's not make the mistake with today.
To get our free dinosaur? Why wasn't that story published?
Oh, like a museum or something.
Yeah.
Or in a remote part of the world, because they're still alive.
They're still alive somewhere.
In case you're wondering, yes, we do get complaints.
They have gone too far. This time, they are going to be held accountable.
You're listening to The Riot on Radio U.
So it's National Donut Day.
Oh, yeah.
But cake looks good, too. We would do with a cake.
We could do another cake. We went through the cake that we had. We had collectively in the past 1 week, we've had 2 cakes in the building.
Yeah.
And they lasted total like 48 hours.
Well, the most recent one was a very patriotic.
Yes. Memorial Day.
Chocolate cake with buttercream icing. And we had that on Tuesday. And I would say it'd be gone. It was gone by when everybody left on Wednesday.
Yeah. Thursday. Well, yesterday morning we came in and it was long gone.
Not even to where, like, sometimes they'll just leave the box and they'll be like little bits of cake or icing, but it was already in the trash.
Yep. Polished off.
We don't throw things away. So, someone the day before did that.
Yep. And we don't get stuff out of the trash either.
We don't. I don't want people thinking we do.
I think, so here's the strategy that this little girl in Minnesota employed that maybe, I feel like she might fit in well here at Radio U.
I think so.
This little girl, her name is Leona. She's 3 years old. She's from Minnesota. And for her birthday, the cake she requested is a cake that depicts the scene of, spoiler alert, Mufasa's death in the Lion King movie. Mm-hmm. And the reason behind
was it Scar who killed Mufasa?
Yes. He orchestrates it. It's not like he physically does it, but
are we saying allegedly?
I guess there's plausible deniability for him, you could say.
Is there controversy about it? Or
if there was a police investigation, Scar may get off the hook.
Well, what was the thing? Because I remember on TikTok, it was some sort of controversy about like who was Scar down the road or in another thing. There was something around Lion King, but I haven't watched the movie. I don't think like anytime soon.
You never saw the new one?
I can't remember. No, I never saw that one.
Yeah, neither did I. I saw the old cartoon, which is what this little 3-year-old has depicted on her cake.
Well, everybody loves her response because this is the one where she said that everybody would be too sad to eat the cake.
Yes, that was the thinking behind it.
So she would get all of it.
It's not that she loved the scene, because that was kind of the first, when I saw it, I was like, wait, that's her, like she's her favorite scene, the thing that she identifies with in the Lion King and all movies.
She just
that she
wants
loves
it all.
the most is when Mufasa dies, but it's actually, she thought everybody would be too sad to eat the cake, so she would get to eat it all herself.
So what do you think? Do you think the Mufasa and Scar, are they just like fondant, or they icing, or what do you think?
It looks like it. The way they are, it has to be something edible. Because otherwise they don't look good enough.
Yeah, but you've seen fondant like that. It's edible, but it's not good.
Yeah, no, I don't think I would want to eat that. But no, the way, it looks like Play-Doh, but I'm sure it's not Play-Doh. So it probably is like that moldable cake fondant type stuff.
And we all say we won't.
Yeah.
But then when you get down to the end, there's nothing else.
You're just going to go for it.
Now, Julia did text Hudson, said, sorry, Scar did kill Mufasa, and he confesses to Simba later in the movie.
I guess I haven't seen it in a long time.
You really are not up on it.
What happens is, I just remember the wildebeest stampede, and so Scar gets the hyenas. Again, this is all spoiler alert. If you haven't seen The Lion King, the original is nearly 30 years old at this point. So, and then the new one, still, it's been out a couple of years. He gets the hyenas to get the wildebeest to go on a stampede, and he gets Mufasa to happen to be in the gorge, or Simba to happen to be in the gorge, and Mufasa has to go down there and save him, but Mufasa can't save him. And Scar, that's right, Scar, she's right. I forgot this part.
Scar, now it's coming back.
It's all coming back to me because Scar could save Mufasa, but he doesn't want to save him because this was all his plan. So he releases him down to get stampeded by the wildebeest. Totally right. Yep, so she's dead on that.
Now I don't need to watch it.
Yep, there you go. I've just explained it all in perfect. A picture is worth, or my words are worth a picture.
Well,
I guess,
like
in
this
reverse.
Little girl and her Lion King cake. And it does make us want
I like her mindset.
A third cake. So if we could have a new cake for staff delivered Monday, we don't need one today. It's too late. Yep. It's donut day anyways.
Donuts,
we would like on Monday the next week's sheet cake.
What could we do in the spirit of this girl, where she just wanted this to that she could eat the whole cake by herself? What could we do to put on our cake that nobody else would want to eat it?
Like a scene from a movie, or can we just touch the cake and just put our hands in it? So then that way no one will want to eat around us.
Yeah, you just put do a nice long lick along the cake, the top of the cake.
It's massive allergy season. We could just sneeze and breathe on each side. You have one half of the cake and I'll have the other.
There we go. We've got it knocked down and covered. We're going to have our own cake. It's the plan.
Well, good for her. Yeah. Good for cake.
I like her mindset.
Good for everything.
It was bad enough the first time around, but now it's worse. Don't believe us? Just keep listening. You'll find out soon enough. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
You just never know what kind of jobs are out there that you might get sucked into.
If you want to work with airplanes.
Right. Or I guess you never know what will wind up being part of your job description.
That's better.
Like you get into a job, you think it's going to be one thing, and then all of a sudden you're whacking plane wheels with a broomstick.
Well, it's fascinating. So like there's several airlines that store planes here. So this is Qantas, which is not that's based out of Australia.
Right.
But they leave some of their international planes during COVID.
Right. Because there weren't a lot, if any, international flights, so they had to do something with their planes. And it says that, I don't know exactly why this would be, but the hot, arid deserts are good places to store planes that aren't being used at the moment.
So they leave them here. Is that like does mold not grow? I feel like it's a mold thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because it's dry and a hot
You would think
heat.
the sun would you would get the sun beating down on the planes and especially in a hot desert, melting the tires or just making the paint fade or something.
They have them covered a lot. So the wheels and different parts of the plane they have wrapped up, but they have to move the wheels because of the heat and just the weight of the plane.
Yep.
You have to keep moving them around every so often. So it takes a lot of maintenance, even though these planes are just waiting for when flights to return back to the same level as they were before the pre-pandemic.
Yep.
But there's also other issues that come with them being stored in the desert.
All burying the lead, because the real reason this is interesting and it's a story is because the engineers that take care of the planes that are out there, because of it's in the desert, there's a big rattlesnake problem, a big
Scorpions
rattlesnake population, and they will go in and hide, especially it says in the wheels of the plane. And so the engineers, before they can do any inspections or anything like that, they have to walk around the entirety of the plane, stomping their feet and beating the wheels with a broom handle, which it's actually part of their engineer kit. They call it a wheel whacker.
It's a repurposed broom
so that they can scare the snakes away before they start doing anything.
They say it actually does the trick. Every so often they'll still find one that wasn't scared. But for the most part, they have to do this so that they don't get surprised with a rattlesnake or a scorpion.
Yeah, that would, do you think they get extra hazard pay for that? Because it feels dangerous.
I guess. I mean, I think if you're in that area, if you work in that area, you're not fazed by rattlesnakes like we would be.
Yeah.
Where we've just not experienced
and
that.
maybe it's already a hazard just being out in the Mojave Desert anyways. Yeah. You know who would be perfect for this job?
Who?
Samuel L. Jackson. Okay. I am tired of all these rattlesnakes on these Qantas planes.
You're right. I didn't think about that, but it's perfect.
It is perfect. They should hire him, and he will take care of it. He might use like a gun or something, but he'd be a little more violent with his approach.
That would be bad because then you have holes in the plane.
Yeah.
But they're saying it does the trick. I just worry because this area that they store these planes is about 2 hours outside of LA. But when the planes start coming back and they think they got all the rattlesnakes, every so often you'll see a story of someone who says there's a snake on the plane or like a bug.
Samuel L. Jackson.
Pretty much. Not just him, but like you're sitting there and there's these things that just crawl out of it. You didn't realize, like, will they catch all of them before they go back in flight?
Well, and there's a lot of, planes are big and there's a lot of little compartments
and stuff. A lot of space they can hide.
And a lot of these animals can fit into pretty tiny areas. So, you never know. I think a lot of the times when you do see those stories, it's probably because the plane has been out being stored somewhere and then they put it back into service.
It'd be awful too if they were still in like the wheel thing and they burned up and you're like, what's that?
Oh, you know what? The plane takes off. They were up hiding somewhere, and then all of a sudden you just see a snake falling from the sky.
Yeah, you're like, it's okay.
Oh, no.
It's all right. At least it's not coming in.
They need to give the snakes parachutes.
I think they would be dead. So I don't think they'd make the initial takeoff.
They wouldn't be able to pull the cord.
Aww.
Find more Riot content online. riot.radiou.com.
There's this whole other world that I don't think we ever really got to experience during the pandemic, but it was, and still for some people continues to be, doing all of your work from home and doing a lot of Zoom calls and Zoom meetings throughout the day that we never got to experience. Like, How lazy, like how much would you let it go? You know what I mean?
Laziness of it.
How much would you just phone it in and not worry about getting dressed, not worry about brushing your teeth and all that kind of stuff?
It changed fashion. Like it literally changed. Zoom calls and everything last year changed. Everybody went more into athleisure.
Yep.
They bought more like pajama clothes that would work.
Sweatpants.
Yeah, sweatpants. And there was so like business wear places went out of business because no one needed to dress up at all.
Yep.
And that was especially
at
because
least not
your
their
meetings.
Bottom half, that's for sure.
For sure, you only needed to buy up top. But that's because, your meetings, none of them were in person. So why would you have to put in all the effort?
Why even worry about it? Well, then there's this that comes out from the Irish Post. So this is a survey done in Ireland, where they found that about 1 in 5 people in Ireland admitted doing Zoom calls in their underwear only.
1 in 5?
Yeah, that seems like a pretty high number. And I don't know how you would get away with that to where, like, you can still see if somebody's not wearing a shirt, even if you can't really see their upper half. Like, you can see that there's not... You'd have to really have that camera focus really tight in on your face to not realize that you weren't wearing a shirt.
Maybe it was still mostly
So they just meant
bottoms.
like without pants on.
Yes, I think that's
another way to... Do you feel like that's high or low?
That's maybe higher than I thought. And to me, it's different if you're doing that in your underwear compared to like comfy clothes.
Yeah.
I think there's a less of a difference now
than
there ever was before. Because now you're just like, I'll just sleep in that. That's fine.
I have too much. Well, I'll admit, I don't just like hang out around the house in my underwear.
Sure.
So this isn't even something that would really occur to me to do because it's not like I would just be that comfortable to do it around my house.
Yeah.
Because even when it's hot outside, you still need a little something so you don't feel completely bare. I guess I'm not free enough. I'm not,
you're still
liberated
shackled
enough to,
by clothes. They say that results also showed that 29% have faked a bad internet connection to get out of a Zoom meeting.
Oh, that feels low.
Well, I think also you just had a bad internet connection. There were so many more people and so many more like internet usage in neighborhoods that your connection was legitimately having trouble.
It was hard to maintain a good enough call situation there. So
they say 64% of the study. This is in Ireland though, but I'm sure it's not too different here.
I love that they
They didn't enjoy like family Zoom calls last year.
Yeah.
They didn't enjoy the family times, like if you did a game night or something, or you just try to stay connected.
We never really tried to do that because to me, and I had friends and stuff that it's like, well, I really wish I could talk to them like more than just texting, but it felt so awkward to try to set up any kind of Zoom or, video chat with any of your friends because it's just not what you normally do. So, and like when you're
if they're really your friend, you shouldn't have had to.
Oh,
because true good friends.
True friends.
You might not see each other for a while, but you're still friends.
Yeah, that's how it was with me. We texted every so often, but just imagining trying to do a Zoom call with somebody, even though they're your friend, trying to fill the awkward silence. I have a lot of sympathy for people that tried to do Zoom dates.
Yeah, that must have been the worst.
So cringe, if I could say.
Think of it as athleisure for your ears. RadioU's Worst of the Riot podcast.
We've got Reese's Ultimate Peanut Butter Lovers.
So it's basically the peanut butter part of a Reese's cup. It's just the peanut butter part. There's no chocolates.
I can tell I was annoying Nikki a second ago because
you were not. But
I could see your face. I saw it.
Tomato. Everybody says Reese's differently. And so how do you say it?
It's Reese's.
Reese's.
It's Reese's because if you look at, actually, this is helpful. It's helpful if you know about Canada because in Canada, they don't have the apostrophe S. So it's a Reese cup.
Oh.
So they don't call it a Reese cup.
I wonder why.
I don't know. I don't know about the branding. Maybe there's some other company that it is also called Reese's.
So
but either way.
Wait, you just said it to me and I've already forgotten. So it's
Reese's.
Reese's.
Think of if you knew someone named Reese and something belonged to him, you would say, that's Reese's.
That's Reese's
That's
cup.
Reese's car.
But I like Reese's better. I do, because of like PCs.
Yeah, but PCs isn't a word
that's
either.
Not even a word.
That's why it really drives me crazy. Because if you say Reese's Pieces, it actually rhymes and it's a real word.
It's all wrong no matter what. It's all wrong. But this is the Reese's.
Yes.
Reese's cup.
It doesn't matter how you say it. They have the commercials. It's like there's no wrong way to eat it. I don't know if they still do those. There's no wrong way to pronounce it.
You can't do it wrong.
Yeah, but these are
unless you're Hudson and you think everybody else does it wrong.
I have it's a real thing that bothers me when I hear people. That one and like when people say caramel instead of caramel are the two that drive me up a wall.
I like when I find something that really does bother you.
Yeah.
It's like it's not for show. Like he really wants you to say Reese's cup.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
But let's talk about how this might taste. It smells really peanut buttery.
It does. Now we've had recently the bigger, like the jumbo cups.
Yeah.
So I noticed when I got this out that this feels a lot smaller than maybe what a normal Reese's cup is.
Thank you. Thank you.
I can't. But this all peanut butter.
I think. Yeah, we're just so used to, we've just gravitated towards the big cup because we do like the peanut butter in it. I wonder if this will satisfy that need with being smaller.
It's so good. I mean, this is the good part of a cup. This is good. I mean, I could use a little chocolate.
Yeah, maybe.
Just a little chocolate, but wow, those are good too.
I like it. Can I say, I don't know that it's a vast difference from a regular Reese's.
Sure.
You get you're just kind of missing a little bit of the chocolate more so than you're getting more peanut butter flavor.
Yeah.
So I don't know that I would take this over the big cup because I think the actual peanut butter filling is better than the peanut butter
around it
outside. But that said, I mean, it's still a Reese's. It's still really good.
It would be really nice if maybe they gave you a little dipping cup of chocolates. Just dip to the side.
Now that's using your noggin.
Right there. They're
Reese's
like, wait, we never
it's
thought
just
about
a Reese's
that.
And it's got a chocolate pocket there for you to dip in.
That's right. But I still like the bigger ones now that have like the pretzel pieces inside or the Reese's pieces that are inside too. Like I really like those. So this feels a little underwhelming because it's like going back to a normal Oreo.
Yeah, it's kind of
a normal
plain
one, but it's good. I mean, it's still really delicious.
Yeah. Well, we bought the king size here. And I think we're gonna be sharing the other two that we haven't gotten to yet.
Well, I feel like we want to make sure that we're right in our judgment towards it. You should try the others.
Sorry, I'm just gonna have my mouth full. So.
It's definitely true. Someone was just mentioning they taste like peanut butter fudge, and that's Haskell's mentioning. So absolutely, that's a perfect way to describe it.
I'm, you know what? I give them a thumbs up. At the end of the day, I think it's all you need to know.
It's the worst of the riot on RadioU.
Did you know, Nikki, they're calling this the summer of Disney Plus?
Is Disney calling it? Are we all supposed to?
Disney wants us to call it the summer of Disney Plus.
We could say it's the summer of RadioU. Like anyone can say whatever you want.
We should coin that right now. It's the summer of RadioU.
We just need to add a plus somewhere.
RadioU Girl Summer or whatever. That's what.
Oh, like Hot Girl Summer?
Yeah, that's what it is. But
I prefer the air-conditioned Cool Girl Disney Plus Summer.
Ooh, I like that. They're calling it that because Disney, they're trying to really feel good about this, that they've got at least one new movie or show premiering every week for the next 2 months.
Well, that's something that Netflix did.
Yeah, because I was going to say Netflix premieres new stuff all the time. Well, doesn't mean it's worth watching. But
yeah, but they said every week through this whole entire year.
Well, they have a new movie, I think,
they would have a new movie.
Week, which so far I've watched 0 of. But for Disney Plus, I have a little more positive feelings about what we might be getting. So let's just really quick run through it. We get Raya and the Last Dragon now available to everyone.
I think it's Raya.
Raya.
I think.
Sorry.
I watched it.
It doesn't mean
it doesn't mean I remember it.
Have you heard of that? The dating app that's like for
the celebrity one
with Ben Affleck on it?
Yep.
It's me. I love that video.
We were never invited.
No, for some reason. Well, we're married, so
it's true.
We could still get invited. Raya and the Last Dragon. Wait,
Raya.
Now we're equal.
Because he was on me, bugging me about Reeses.
The Reeses.
And I always would say Reeses.
Yep.
Oh, Raya and
But I feel that Reeses will come up more in the future than Raya and the...
No way, dude. We're talking about this movie every day.
Every day. I'm going to have to come back and give a review on Monday because I haven't seen it, obviously, or I'd know how to pronounce it.
Well, that had been out for if you wanted to pay already, but now it's out for like if you're just paying for the service.
And then the one that feels big is coming up on Wednesday. This Wednesday is the premiere of Loki, the show.
Oh, that one looks good.
Well, yeah, it does. I'm really
that.
looking forward to that, but I don't know that it's required, but I want to finish the Falcon and Winter Soldier before I start watching Loki, even though they may not really play into each other.
I think you could just start this one.
You think I can?
I think so.
I watched 2, maybe 3 episodes of Falcon and Winter Soldier, and I watched the first episode twice because the first time I didn't like it, didn't pay full attention.
Yeah.
Once I got back into it, it is more entertaining, but then I really only have time to watch like one show at a time, at least in my mind, and at least before I started the show and started getting off so early in the day. So I haven't caught back up on that one.
Well, let's remember Wednesday because I want to watch that.
We're going to have to give a review coming up on Thursday morning. Then Friday, June 18th is when they premiere that Luca one, which is the new Pixar movie in Italy where the kids are like mermaids, but they go up on land and whatever. And
spoiler, I didn't know any of that.
It's in the trailer.
Didn't see the trailer.
I watched the trailer, and I almost always love Pixar movies. And this one, for some reason, it's like the style of it. I do not.
Not interested?
I guess I'll wind up watching it because it is Pixar and it's going to be free.
Well, it looks like
but it does not appeal to me the way previous Pixar movies have.
They have other animated things. But then if you get to Friday, July 9th, that's Black Widow.
Yep.
And that'll be Premiere Access. So you got to pay more for that.
And I feel that one's going to be a harder sell for the Premiere Access because I could pay to watch that on my own TV, which is pretty big, or I could go pay, probably honestly, isn't it like $30?
It is. It's $30.
So that's more than just going to the movies.
They don't want you to notice that.
Yeah, so. I'm going to definitely go and see that. I would rather see that in the theater and save the money too.
You have Friday, July 30th. There's others each Friday, but these are just the bigger ones. Jungle Cruise, that's the one with Dwayne Johnson and Emily Blunt. So Jungle Cruise will be on July 30th.
Did you see at the end, it's The Wonderful World of Mickey Mouse? Is that those short shorts?
I have not. Oh, at the very bottom.
Yeah.
Is it new? Is it older stuff? I don't know.
It's definitely new, but I don't know if you've ever watched the new Mickey Mouse shorts on Disney Plus, or they're on YouTube also. They're actually really good. The one where they go to Potato Land.
Are you hearing yourself?
Texters, text in.
No
Tell
one
Mickey,
is.
send her the YouTube link to the Potato Land Mickey Mouse short. You will love it, Nikki. It is. That's better than most cinema these days.
I just want the promo to be that you hear throughout the day of like, what did the riot talk about?
Yeah.
Hey, did you watch the Mickey Potato Land thing?
You might be thinking that this won't be quite as bad the second time around. Well, you'd be greatly mistaken. You're listening to the worst of the Riot podcast.
Fake it till you make it, they always say, Nikki.
Yes.
That's,
until you know how to do it.
Right. And I think that works pretty well with like a job, as far as just like, yeah, I know how to run whatever that board is there. You know what I mean? Like,
eventually you'll learn.
You can figure it out. And because there's still things Nikki and I don't know about the board.
Don't tell them that. Because Chris will hear.
Yeah, I don't want Chris to hear. That's what I was going to say.
Our engineer, when you're around him, you're like, yeah, I know it all. Of course I do.
Well, once he goes over it with you 3 times, you just figure out how to do the job without using that.
Don't tell everybody everything.
But a lot of times they talk about that with like confidence, like especially at jobs, you got to go in there, act confident, even if you're not confident, and eventually you will be confident. And that might work. I feel like that might work as far as how you present yourself. Eventually you act confident enough, you're just going to act confident.
Yeah.
But I don't think that changes. Like when you go home, and even if you've acted confident around everybody else all day, I still feel that there's still that aspect of you inside that's telling you that you can't. Like even if you faked it for everybody else, you still know the truth for yourself, and you still feel like you're not good enough. And no matter how much you fake it, you're just not going to get to that point where you're like, yep, I've got it all taken care of. And so there's always going to be that doubt for you. And so what I've found is so important is having a relationship with God, because no matter how much you feel that I'm not good enough, nobody else knows the truth, but for me, I know I'm not doing the right thing.
You don't know it yet.
Yeah, I know I don't know it. And eventually, you always think like eventually they're going to catch on. But with God knows the truth, and God still says you're good enough. Jesus still says that's okay, that he will fill in that gap of that confidence for you. And not in a self-help way. A lot of times when we talk about God, it almost feels like self-help. Like, this is just how you feel good about yourself. But it's having somewhere to turn when you don't feel good enough. Then you've got God there saying, that's okay. You are good enough. And I'm going to tell you why. And I'm going to tell you how to deal with what you're dealing with. Jesus is ready to guide you through life and to help you through those areas where you just feel like you're not good enough. God is there for you. And all you need to do is start talking to him. Say, hey, Jesus, I want you in my life. I want to know more about you. And I want you to help me with what I'm dealing with. And he absolutely will. We always say RadioU.com/free gifts is a great place to start. It'll get you going there if you want to know more.
You won't hear a show like this anywhere else. And that's probably for the best. The worst of the riot. RadioU.
Summer is here. And what better way to relax than hopping in the pool in this InNOut burger, officially licensed from the online store.
Pool floaty. So at first I thought this float was like based on the picture, like where you could put a thing of fries in, like a small one.
That's a good idea.
It is. And I know some other places have done this, but for InNOut, this is actually a full size, like human body float that you can use in the pool.
That when you get those little things that are supposed to float and like hold your drink, or that's the main one. They never, ever, ever work.
But they want this to work for your body.
This will work for your body. But first of all, the price tag on it, like you could get the exact same pool floaty. It just wouldn't have InNOut on it.
Well, you're paying for the licensing of it.
The license, and I'm sure they have to like print this special print on the vinyl or whatever it is.
It's $60, and I feel like
that is a lot for a pool floaty.
I don't buy pool floaties a lot, so I don't know, but I feel like that's a lot.
No, it is, because you could go to Dollar General and get one of these for $5.
But it's not an InNOut one.
And this is better quality.
You'd find the out and in one where it looks just like it, but it's not.
Yeah.
But this is their new like hot merch item for InNOut for the summer.
I think that the optimal use for this is not just you're buying it so you can float around in the pool. I think the idea symbol. I think it's going off of what you were saying with putting fries in it. It's just you make this into a whole viral video. Oh. You get this fry boat, you fill the whole thing with fries.
That's good.
You get all of the toppings that they can throw onto it. And all of a sudden, you're going viral.
Especially if you're in an area that does not have an InNOut, you can at least have this.
You could do it like a fundraiser or something. You fill the whole thing with fries, and then you could people could pay to come eat the fries out of the InNOut.
I guess I never noticed, but they have a ton of other merch stuff, and their shirts aren't priced too bad. They're like $15, $19.
That's not horrible
compared to some of the other merchandise. Taco Bell.
Oh, wow. I'm
Burger
looking at
King.
The shoes. I kind of like the shoes. Have you seen those?
How much are those?
Those are only $5 more.
They look like Vans.
Yeah, they're kind of cute. And then there's some good There's some good InNOut merch. You know, I've never been to InNOut.
You never have?
Never have. I've never been to California. I've been to Arizona, and I hated it
Arizona.
there. Yeah, but I didn't get to go.
Well,
I did not get to go. You know what I did?
I don't want to know. What
Arizona,
else did you do? Do not tell me you went to Wendy's or McDonald's.
I went to what?
Don't tell me you went to Wendy's or McDonald's.
No. I was only in Arizona for 24 hours, and I only remember I ate at the ballpark.
Yeah.
But before that was my dinner. For lunch, I went to a restaurant. It's not there anymore. It was owned by Alice Cooper.
Why? You could have put in. You're supposed to just be prepared to eat.
I think the InNOut there was only at the airport, and when I flew in or flew out, it was like either really late at night or really early in the morning or something like that.
There was a good reason.
I really wanted to go. I've never been. I want to go, and it didn't work out at that time, but it did work out to go to Alice Cooper's restaurant, which is now closed.
Hearing a lot of excuses, and I'm ashamed to hear all that because you make the time.
But you know what I did have? My dad used to go on trips to California for work, and every time he would bring back an InNOut shirt.
Oh, you did?
And it would kind of just like rub it in a little bit, but also the shirts were kind of cool. They always had like old cars on them and stuff.
You live there and you still have to fly somewhere. You still bring it on the plane. Like, I'm going. I don't care.
Yep.
Well, now you can have the pool floaty at least for $60-something.
Yeah.
If you missed out on the next Riot moment when it originally aired, you don't know how lucky you are. You're listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Let's say you buy an InNOut pool floaty, but you're at the lake.
Yeah.
And you're floating in the lake and you're like, oh, what's this fish?
You need you need to make back the money that you spent on that floaty? InNOut pool float.
This actually could work out well.
This is the way to do it. It's in Tennessee. There's this boat dealer at Watson's
Sounds like drug
Marine.
dealer, but it's a boat dealer.
And I guess they caught one smallmouth bass in the South Holston Lake. They caught it and tagged it. Mm-hmm. And so now they are challenging people to go out, fish on the lake.
Contest.
Yes.
Yes.
And if
that makes more sense.
If you catch this one fish, then that will give you the $100,000 prize.
Does anybody do fishing competitions? Is that how it's normally done? Or I thought it was you get so many minutes or so many hours and whoever gets the biggest or the most.
I know it's like there's certain channels where you can just always watch fishing shows, and I think they do have competitions. And it always seems to be, I always thought it was like catching the biggest bass.
In a certain amount of time.
Yeah, but I mean, I really have no idea because I've never watched.
Well, this is an awesome idea because when I first saw the article, I thought it was more like they needed this fish, like it was a special one. And I'm like, well, what's in the thing where you need it? But instead, they're just calling it an unusual treasure hunt for a specific tagged fish. And if you do get this fish that's tagged, it's $100,000 for the prize.
I still don't know if I'm ready to
try fishing.
If you broke down the hour by hour, how much money you'd be making per hour to go out there and fish if you got the $100,000, I wonder if it would be enough because I really don't want to go fish. And
you would be just fine.
This whole big lake though,
that's the competition.
Here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking about if you don't catch the fish and you don't get the $100,000.
You had a good day on the lake.
No, you didn't. You were fishing.
I go by this lake all the time. You guys have a great time out there.
You'll have a good time.
The dealership who's doing the prize for it said no registration is necessary. Any baits can be used. The fish must be caught, though, with a rod and reel to qualify.
You know it's going to be sad?
So you can't, like, bomb the lake and try to find it that way.
Somebody's going to catch the fish and not even realize.
That's a contest?
Yeah,
I know.
So they're not going to cash it in. And you see the stories all the time of the people that win the lottery and they didn't realize, or they lose the ticket and
Throw
stuff.
it away.
That's going to be somebody with this fish.
It's going to be an amazing fish dinner, but they
Yeah.
won't know that the tag, if you get the fish with the tag, then you could, if you turn it in, then you get the $100,000.
Yeah, I wonder, it's probably like clearly spelled out on the tag. Like, you think you could see it?
I don't know. I mean, again, we don't
Yeah.
fish, so I don't know how noticeable tags are.
What if the fish just died before I got to catch it?
It's just at the bottom. It was scared. You scared it.
It gets eaten by another fish, and
no one ever wins.
I feel that maybe like they're almost banking on that.
Thanks for listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Oh no! I missed it! Do it again!
You can hear us live every day on the RadioU network through the RadioU app or at riot.radiou.com.